Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Gadget Show live. My name is Total Biscuit, bringing you all the action from the Starcraft 2 tournament live in the Birmingham NEC. We're going to be having a matchup between Hasuobs and Select right now. Looking forward to that one. It is going to be brutal. It might be a little bit shorter than the previous encounter, but you never know with these guys. You never, ever know. We go into this very, very quickly. This tournament, of course, is sponsored by the big alien head behind me. The actual alien head as well. He is sponsoring it out of his own alien pocket. No, that would, of course, be Alienware. And we're going into the game right now. You can hear the countdown ticking away in the background. And the question is, who will come out on top? Bear in mind that in these group stages, this is for seeding in this particular tournament, and a player who gets through in the top, I believe the top two, will actually get a bye through the first round, simply because there just aren't a lot of players in this tournament, so they'll all be going through to the double elimination brackets, and that is going to be happening tomorrow. All of the group stages are being played today. Obviously, the Gadget Show closes at around 5, so just bear that one in mind. I'm bringing you Select in the red trunks. He is playing Terran. Needless to say. It'll be a little odd to see him play anything else. You know what I would like to see? One of these guys just off-race Zerg just for the sake of it, so we actually had a Zerg player in this tournament. That would be wonderful. Unfortunately, we did have some cancellations. Hasuobs in the yellow trunks from Team Mouse Sports, and he is playing Protoss. So, Select comes off an endurance game. You want to know what he did after that endurance game? Went immediately into a ladder game, because that's just who he is. I went over then. I expect him sort of to be chilling out, maybe having a drink, something to eat. No, he's laddering, of course. What else would he be doing? He is a monster, folks. He is an absolute monster. Hasuobs was chilling out with the other German Soccer, of course. And, of course, Kaldor is around here somewhere, but he's actually casting another set of matches from a different area. But I don't believe any of the players are actually here. It's a little bit of a weird setup. I think it's from Median or whatever the case. But, yeah, it's interesting. But yeah, I met up with him. Kaldor is an awesome guy, and we might get some co-casting done. But bear in mind that tomorrow I'll be co-casting with the one and only Mr. Diapollo, providing with the analysis that you do not get when you are dealing with a solo cast with me. That one in mind. So if you're interested in some analysis, you will definitely get that, I can guarantee, although I cannot promise that I will not mock the fact that everyone believes that he's Welsh. Bear in mind, he's not actually Welsh, but if you want to really annoy Diapollo, you claim that he is Welsh. That's the way it's done, folks. It is. And he's just an easy character to do that with. Although he will actually be competing in the I-42 tournament, which will be happening next week. And I'll be casting that one next weekend. So keep an eye on that one. Intriguing stuff. Select with a Marine on the way, which I've heard is useful talent I have for a Terran player. In the meantime, this SCV just hangs around and sees what it can see, which is not a huge amount, except for that cybernetic score. He knows that Hasuobs is going for pretty standard play for the time being. Nothing really surprising there. Has been known to do that. I have to wonder if Hasuobs is just going to try and end this really quickly, because Select, I don't know, Select's had a lot of practice now with really long freaking endurance games, and I don't think Hasuobs actually has. Hasuobs is a good macro player, nonetheless, he is very capable. Ended up defeating Hate Pro in a best-of-5 series, 3-0, very recently in the Lux.com show matches. And anyone that said that Hasuobs is not capable of macro play is, of course, talking out of their arse. Bear that one in mind. He's very capable of the long game. He's very great in terms of his economy. He's very well managed. He knows exactly how much he needs. And Soke, on the other hand, likes to build about 150 probes, which to me seems a little bit overkill. Whatever the case. Oh, I loved that in the previous matchup. It was absolutely great. Just send the probes to their death. Why not? And what else are we going to do with them? We need a bigger army right now. Select actually escapes with that SCV, which is insult to injury, quite frankly. Will we see a little bit of fisticuffs going on right here, or possible standoff? No, absolutely not. There we go. Going to chase him away, and Hasuobs is actually going to have to leave now. Otherwise, he will lose that. I was just playing a bit of ring around the rosy right here with his online watchtower. Oh, yeah, we brought friends. Bye. That SCV... I'm afraid not. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry, SCV. I'm very sorry. Your sacrifice will be remembered. 2 gateways coming down right here for Hasuobs, an expansion right now for Select, as he has been known to do. Looking for double barracks play with a reactor and a tech lab. He'll be a little bit vulnerable to early aggression. However, Select already getting in the mix with it. He's got a couple of Marauders and a Marine. Takes down one and actually loses nothing in the process. Excellent micromanagement there by Select. Dodging and weaving, taking him down. Concussive Shell is an awesome thing. Let's be totally honest about that. And now an SCV's got to follow up, so we're looking for a bit of a bunker contain right now. And I wouldn't really be surprised to see that. Honestly, he might be able to pull this off, because actually Hasuobs is really not doing so well in terms of his production buildings. Warpgate is not ready. There is the force field. Will he use that opportunity to start building a bunker? We'll find out. Those units are pretty damn injured, and he doesn't have anything to reinforce it with right now. I'd also be kind of worried about that proxy pylon right now. Hasuobs are hanging around and forward with the SCV, trying to do as much damage as possible. And how much can he really do with it? There is a Stalker. There is a Sentry. That's one free SCV taken out right there, and Select easily able to get away, but he got some valuable scouting information in the process and also bottled his opponent in his base for a little bit of time, so there's nothing necessarily wrong with that. Have a look at income comparison, you'll see that it's slightly in favor of Select, as you'd expect at this stage in the game, thanks to Mules, and once that expansion gets rolling, that could be problematic for Hasuobs. However, he's not going to allow that to happen. He's already pushing forward. Have a look at unit count right now. We see 3 Stalkers, a Sentry, and a Zealot versus 2 Marauders and 3 Marines. Fairly even fight right now. Tries to take the SCV out, looks for it. A couple more shots are required. Select is going to get away. No, it's not going to happen, I'm afraid. You cannot catch it. Or can you? Oh, that was unfortunate. I would have thought that Select wouldn't have been able to get away from that one. He certainly could have, but it turns out he didn't actually want to. He never liked him anyway. Twilight Council on the way up for Hasuobs. That 3-gateway Twilight Council approach is fairly common for him, and expanding behind it is as well. The proxy pylon warping an additional unit. A lot of sentries coming on the field, needless to say, to try and soak up a little bit of that gas. Hasuobs should be able to lock Select in the base for a little while anyway, until Stim finishes, and then Select will easily be able to sally forth and annihilate all of that. And in combination with that large number of Marauders and the Concussive Shell, I would expect nothing to get out of that alive if Hasuobs decides to just continue with this particular line of investigation. Nexus following up right now for Hasuobs, almost complete. Twilight Council almost complete. Gotta be Blink Stalkers, you would think. But then again, if you have a look at the gas count right now, Hasuobs has so much gas, he could very easily go for Charge Zealots. We'll find out. He does have another gateway following up. He's got a proxy pylon down here. He's got one here as well. Very, very sneaky right now. He's got a lot of options, and looking, of course, to deny Select expansion, which actually he's doing very well right now, which is critical. That's not something Select really wants. He's thinking, oh no, not again. The worst thing that can happen to me right now is for me to not be able to get that economic advantage. He's only able to use the orbital command as a macro command center right now, nail down a few mules into his mineral line, but it's looking like Select will be able to easily break this contain very quickly. Stimpack almost complete, Medivacs on the way. There's no way that Hasuobs will be able to stand up to that. In the meantime, the question is, what is he doing? That is, look at the positioning of that Dark Shrine. That is an incredibly risky Dark Shrine, but also a very sneaky Dark Shrine right there. Look at that, yes. Does Select expect the Dark Templar? Nobody expects the Spanish Dark Templar, especially not. Well, so much for that contain. Force fields are irrelevant when he can do that. Select looking to try and flank, however, Hasuobs, can he grab it? Can he grab it? He takes one, looks for the second one, hiding behind the bushes right now. Will not save you, I'm afraid. The force fields might, however. Oh, look at that. Select grabs him almost immediately. Looks for the interception. He's on his way. Hasuobs is streaming out, however, he fails to notice what's coming from the sky right now. However, an additional warp in right there. Excellent play. Takes down one medevac. Looks for the second one right here. Great Stalker play by Hasuobs. And now Select actually caught out of position. Needs to retreat almost immediately. It was a good play by Select. Unfortunately, Hasuobs was ready for that one. Very quick reactions from him. Looks for the flank once again. Does he have the firepower? He really, really doesn't right now. They're very, very badly injured. However, Hasuobs doesn't want to stand and fight right now. Just sort of picking him off right here. Takes down yet another Stalker. Huge amounts of damage done there by Select. However, his forces are running out. Here's a pickup, and he needs to leave right now. Leaves the Marine to its fate. I'm sorry. It just had to be done. In the meantime, oh dear. Oh dear. That's not ideal. Uses a hallucination to warp in above the cliff face, and now Dark Templar in the middle of Select's base. Not an ideal situation for Select right now. Engineering Bay is coming down, but he really has no other way to deal with it other than those scans. Here's the pursuit, and the reinforcements coming in right here. Lots of supply depots getting gutted, but have a look at the economic comparison. Bleeding badly as a result of this. Pylon is now down, but there are still 2 DTs in the base. What are you going to do when they come for you? Engineering Bay cancelled, however, this one should finish, and it does. Looking for some missile turrets right here. Quick stim into the line. It takes out a Dark Templar, no problem at all. But that DT is still there. Might even be able to take a reactor out. It's looking pretty likely. Taking so many kills already. Another Dark Templar still in the line. That one's on fire. That supply depot will detonate. He's done a huge amount of damage, and more to the point, he's prevented his opponent from actually mining. No gas coming in for him at all, and selecting quite a lot of trouble. Hasuobs has absolutely no problem whatsoever doing things like this. He really doesn't. I don't blame him, honestly. Looking for the scan. There's the scan, and a quick nail down there by Select. Excellent play. Looking for the second one. He grabs it, and he does it. There you go. Excellent stuff. However, Still, the amount of damage that was done, and the fact that he's forced his opponent to build a ton of missile turrets as opposed to building units, that is the kind of opportunity that Hasuobs would love to exploit. His income is streaming ahead, obviously. His army count is not so great, but it's getting there, and he can very easily reinforce if he so desires. Select, however, is not going to have any of that nonsense, looking for a counter-attack right there. Hasuobs breaks through, looking to expand down here, which is very, very common for the Protoss. Hasuobs moving in once again, trying to bring that down. And actually, there's a miss-stim from Select. Realize he doesn't actually have anything he can do with that. Might even lose a reactor right here. It's looking very likely. Oh, one more hit will do it. He does. Oh, the repair there from Select. So very, very close. Almost lost the reactor there. That could have been a bit of a pain in the ass. Nothing critical, but still. Hasuobs continues with the mining operations right now. And finally, Select is a little bit secure, but still the amount of probes that he's got. Look at that, 59 to 27. That is a huge advantage right now for Hasuobs. I would be very concerned, extremely concerned if I was Select. The question is, can Select do any real damage? The Warpins are coming in. Hasuobs is starting to take the army supply lead. However, this Marauder Heavy Force will be very effective. He lacks upgrades, which is not going to help him at all. Bearing in mind that the armor upgrade is on its way for Hasuobs, and he's also about to get Zealot Charge. That'll really help him an awful lot in this situation against those Marauders. Let's find out just how much damage he can do, because he's got to push his way in here. He really has to. Got to try and find a positioning. He could actually harass this. Now Hasuobs supply blocked. That's a little bit of an error. However, it won't last for too long. Another pylon on its way up almost immediately. Keep an eye on those units, folks. They are all over the place. Looking for a salvage approach, and in come the force fields. However, Select should be able to escape from that. He might lose a single Marauder. Now getting into a position where he can pick up and drop. Here it comes, folks. The question is, will Hasuobs be able to intercept it? Medevacs on their way, and Hasuobs getting caught out of position. However, Hazu does have 4 Stalkers ready to receive. Might be able to take on one Medevac before it drops its entire load. Almost did, but still, that's a lot of firepower now from Select. Select driving his way in there. Takes a Stalker Vanguard out. How much more damage can he do? Focusing fire. He's looking for the Twilight Council. However, he's getting sandwiched in there once again by Hasuobs. Needs to leave now. Needs to get the hell out of there. Might lose a Medevac. Very close. Very, very close, but a good drop there by Select. A reasonable amount of damage done. Mobius Reactor on its way up for Select. We are looking for Ghosts, of course. Getting Ghosts in the mix, 3 on the way. That will be very effective. In the meantime, we've got another drop. Catches a bunch of Stalkers out of position. Hasuobs with it, and an ill-advised warp in there. In the meantime, those forces chasing after, however, Select staying mobile, which is a very, very good idea right now. Hasuobs can't see up that cliff. A little bit of sniping damage done. And once again, look at this. He is all the way out. If Select leaves right now, he's going to throw away that 1 Medevac. And in the meantime, he's got 2 full Medevacs and Marauders all the way back to the base. And Hasuobs streaming back as quickly as possible, looking for an interception. Doesn't get it. He's actually distracted by those Marines. And now, Select's going to be able to inflict a huge amount of damage right now on Hasuobs. That's 8 Marauders coming into the mix. And Hasuobs is moving backwards. Select has to do the damage now. Pylon's getting shut down. No Warpins for you, I am afraid. Can he take the Twilight Council out? He looks for it. Blink cancelled. There you go. We've got another Dark Templar in the mix. That's going to be problematic for him. Those will go down with a single swing every time. Supply blocked once again for Hasuobs, and almost all the warp gates shut down. So great drop play once again by Select. Continuing to pile on the pressure, and in the meantime behind this is rebuilding his economy to the point where it's actually better than Hasuobs. Still, army supply-wise, Select is really lagging behind. These hit-and-run guerrilla tactics are an ideal opportunity for him to try and redress the balance. But I'm still very concerned. If Hasuobs actually decides to get aggressive right now, I don't think that Select will be able to hold it, even with the bunkers. He doesn't have a planetary fortress up there at all, and his upgrade count is not looking too great either. Hasuobs pushing forward. He has those Dark Templar in the mix of his army, which is very, very common for him. Once again, another 3 pylon taken out for Select. However, that's 4 Marauders and 2 Medevacs that are not going to be in this fight when Hasuobs decides to go for it. And he has a huge number right now. His army count advantage is very significant, 98 to 54. Charging forward, once again, 31 Zealots and 3 Dark Templar in there, as well as 13. Yes, indeed, 13 Stalkers. There we go. EMP, mass EMP is actually very helpful. Select is holding this really, really well. Unfortunately, there are just too many Zealots right now charging in from the side, especially with the Dark Templar support. And Hasuobs, there we go, ladies and gentlemen, GG. Nicely played right there by both. Hasuobs takes it, and Select, even with all of that harassment going on, it just wasn't enough to hold back the amazing Protoss play right there from Hasuobs.